Hello and welcome to episode 5, season 5 of Building Union Build. And as always, thanks for joining me, you absolute legend, you sexy beast, you. I love you long time. Make sure you do all the good stuff. If you are brand new, feel free to subscribe and all hit that lovely cheeky little bell, ding, like that, dead easy. Dead easy. You'll never miss one of my videos, and you're not missing this because you're here with me now, and I really do appreciate it. I have absolutely battered this season out in about 2.5 days. Monday night, got my transfers out of the way. I've done a couple of days and now I'm here, ready to go. And what a season I've got for you. It was just fun. I think I've enjoyed it. The new players, some of the games, and where we could be. I'm not saying it's going to be awesome or where I really want to be, but it's pretty good potentially. Could be an epic end to the season because I've got one hell of a run in, or it could be turd. The usual football manager stuff, so let's get into it. So let's start here. It's the 1st of September, my favourite month. I'm born in September the 8th. My birthday. Although, forevermore, if you're English or British, you might remember that our beloved Queen died on the 8th of September. And I'll be honest with you, I remember I was sat in McDonald's and the news was coming in that she's really poorly, and all I could think of was, please don't die my birthday. Because that'll be it then for the rest of my life, won't it? Every time it's my birthday, it'll be anniversary of the Queen's death. So yeah, great. Anyway, right, ins and outs. So you'll know, because I showed him you, I think, that we had quite a few youngsters coming in, some good ones. But of course, we had a bit of money as well, but bids start coming in for players, and I was looking at players, hard players I could get. So I've let some players go. So Martin Butterina, 46 million. That is some profit. We sold Mavro or Marv to Zenit, got a bit of money for that. Janik to Sevilla, and I think that's it. I think I sell a backup keeper at some point as well, because I get a new goalkeeper. I needed to get some more German players, and I do that. So this guy at the top, Joaquin Diaz. He's a wonder kid at City, not playing, wanted to leave, I think for 23.5 million. We've got a good little player. I needed a right winger. Jan Thielman was just available, 19.5 million. He's a good player. He's only 24. I needed more Germans, so I've gone for that, mainly because he was German. Christian Neves is one of the lads I showed you, the youngster, striker, right winger. This 9 million buy, I'm pretty sure it's my goalkeeper, the backup. I haven't sorted the faces out. I've just been busy playing. Couldn't be asked. I'm usually quite good with that, but I've just been playing and working. So, yeah. So he's basically come in. He was just as good, really, as the backup he had, but he's German. So yeah, helps. Carlos Sanz, 8.25 million. One of the youngsters I've shown you. He is an absolute beast of a player. I'm not going to lie. Another one of the youngsters. I mean, I think you've already seen these, but you know him. Paland. We've got this kid as well, decent. And this kid, so you've seen all them really. I think the only two ones you didn't know about, or the three, sorry, maybe, was a backup keeper, Jan Thielman from Köln, and obviously Joaquin Diaz, who just came or landed on my lap beautifully. So we are pretty wealthy still. That money does disappear quite rapidly this season, but the wage bill's gone up, but it's no issue. You get good prize money in Germany, and obviously we're in the Champions League, so I felt I'm all right with all that. I felt really good about the squad. It's been really refreshed over the last couple of years. We've got a lot of youth, got some more German lads in, we've got some really good quality players already here, great strikers and so on, good goalkeeper, good defenders still. And I felt we could at least get a second in that league and, you know, go far in competitions. These are the odds for the season. And apart from my winger, which I forgot to talk about, it's going to be my winger. I think the rest of the team is Bayern, but the algorithm or whatever it uses has looked at my squad now and it's given us pure respect here and put us in second, which is brilliant. I think it's awesome. And it's the 1st of September, so I have played 3 games. Look at it quickly. I've won all 3. I'll just show you right there. Lovely, absolutely jubbly. Have you seen this as well, though? You might remember my first season, I loaned Firmino. He was brilliant for me. He went back to Spain. Didn't get many goals for them in Spain. I think he went to Stuttgart on loan. They bought him, and he's only just started here, putting Stuttgart at the top of the league, scoring 6 goals. And on deadline day, Newcastle United have signed him. So yeah, he's no longer in the Bundesliga, but he was some player for me, that kid, and I've had him at the time. But I'm glad I've not now, because I love Luca and I love Mr. Ferguson. Now we're here on the facilities page, of course, you'll know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but they're expanding the stadium. I think they're putting loads of seats in. I don't want to get rid of all the standing, I quite like that. But one thing we've been good at is really improving them facilities, and I've done quite a lot. I've not told you every time, but I've got state-of-the-art training, and we're currently in the process of doing the youth. That's happening, so that'll be upgraded as well. We've gone up to exceptional youth recruitment as well. So I love this about the game, and I do it every time I can, if I can, but just improving everything. I love getting better stadiums, better facilities. It just gives me a lot of joy. We also have a new affiliate. Of course, I've added a few over time. We've got Munshin. We've got a team from South Korea, and now we've got a team from China. I watched a great video actually on YouTube last night, weirdly, about the fall of the Chinese Super League, how it came about, where they got that money from initially, and they spent crazy money, didn't they? And now it's just slowly going. Really interesting actually. Quite liked it. Was it on HITC channel? I think it's called that. Check it out. A couple of months old now, but yeah, it was really interesting. So of course, the Bundesliga just want to get in the Champions League. That's what we're at now. And the board recognise that. I want to push. And I mean, at the minute, we're above Bayern. It'd be nice if we could stay there, wouldn't it? Champions League, obviously, it's a big-ass group. I'll show you my fixtures in a minute. The Pokal, I've won it 2 out of the last 3 years, which is pretty cool. I love that trophy. We'll see what happens. And as you can see, though, the German Super Cup, we lost it 2-0. So that's not a good start. I mean, we didn't do bad against Bayern last year, did we? We beat them at times. Not to mind the semi-final of the Pokal, but and I'd like to have won that, and I felt good going into it, even though we got battered off Inter Milan. I'm quite happy as well, by the way. I set up some random friendlies on tour, so you just play all the teams that are in or around you, don't you, at a local stadium. And Copenhagen were one of them. And then we drew them in the Champions League. We'll have a look at that properly in a minute, but look at that. Every year in the first round at Pokal, a B team it, and we always annihilate someone. But we've started well. The Champions League, these are the teams we've been given. I think it's probably the hardest one we've had. Monaco, got a lot of money on this. Always a good team on this game. United. It's United. Copenhagen, Twente, we could do well against. But Juve, Real Madrid, Lazio on the bounce. And then AEK, I reckon we should be beating. But that's away. I think it'd be quite tough. Finally, after what, 5 seasons... It's taken me. I've got the best staff in the league in all areas. My assistant manager, well, this is the annoying bit. It came to the point where all my staff that I've brought in, and there's a lot of them, pretty much all of them, needed the contract sorting out. Some people can't be asked doing it. I can't be asked doing a lot of things on this game, but one thing I do is my own staff contracts. My assistant was okay. I inherited him. He's one of the only people I kept. And I thought, do you know what? It's time to maybe see. And I got myself a new assistant manager. He's quite good. Dude's been around the block, hasn't he? I mean, it's just... Can't get my words out. Start again. I'm not editing it out, though. He's better than what I had. One thing I was going to do, though, is rein in a bit of rotation. I was really going to go for it in the league, in the Champions League. Maybe B-team the cup and B-team only if I have to. I was really going to push my best players out there, which means someone like Lorenzo Luca ain't going to get the game time. I am going to get pissed off morale. I am going to have pissed off players who want to play more. But I was just going to pick that best team. I don't want to sacrifice. I think the squad's good. It's got good depth. And I want to win something more than the Pokal. Now, this dude, I forgot to show you or mention it, but we loaned him again last year. It's like they do not want him, right? We loaned him again. And then I realised he was up for sale. So I bought him. But he didn't join until next year. So I don't know if I'm going to do a 6th season, but that's when he will sign for us, so I'm pretty happy with that because he's been really good for me. Squad-wise, we're solid. I've had bids in for Ferguson and so on. He was a bit miffed. Can't remember who came in for him. Someone big, but I said no because I don't care. I don't care. But I mean, if I did do a 6th season, and we'll see how it goes. I think there would be a bit of a big turnaround. Really, I really would have to freshen things up, but. We're in a good place, got a lot of good young players, and I'd probably just attack the 50 Wonder Kid list again that you get in April because that was brilliant for me this year. So then, 2 Pokals, not too shabby. But can I add to that? Can we better that? Well, let's jump forward and see how well we're doing in January. Let's jump straight into that beautiful Bundesliga and see where we are. We top, just. But we've pretty much been there all season. We're hanging on. Goal difference ain't as good as Bayern's, but our points are only lost one game. We'll keep on this page. There you go. Lost to Mainz, of all people. Drawn 4. One of them was against Bayern. One was against Leipzig. It's still Leipzig. And there are my wins. Done really well. You'll notice we've got Derby Day back and we won that 5-1. Now, their manager got promoted and I think he went to Stuttgart. Stuttgart poached him. And Hertha Berlin brought in someone I love. I love him. I know Greeno hates him. Possibly our greatest ever player at Manchester United. And one day, as ugly as he is, kid deserves a statue. Wayne bloody Rooney is the manager of my arch rivals. I love it. So of course the pokal, let's just check on it quickly. You know about that, the 10-0. I stuck with the B team against my arch rival. And I got a 1-over on Wayne Rooney again. Happy bloody days. And we've got Cologne in the 3rd round. I've won it twice. I'm going to kind of stick with that B team because I've got bigger fish to fry. I'm top of the bloody league. But what about the Champions League? Well, it's not over yet, of course. It's only the 9th of January. We've got 2 games left to play. I think it's Lazio and AEK at this point. And we're not in the top 8. As you can see, we are 11th. So let's have a look. We lost to Juve 2-1. Lost to the mighty Manchester United 2-1. Drew with Real Madrid. That's good, isn't it? I think. And then we've beaten Twente, Copenhagen and Monaco. Absolutely battered the other 2. So I was hoping to get a result against Lazio, beat the last one, and maybe we could creep in. So it is the halfway point, and you can see we're doing well. All right. But if you also look at my team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Lots of players wanted. Some, of course, because they want to leave and they're not playing. Some because they're good. Like a youngster like Nemanja up there. He's got tons of promise and played well in his one game. He was scoring. He's just not as good as some of the others. People want him on loan. Luka wants to play, but I've made that sacrifice. He's a backup this year. I'm not 50-50 in it. He's the backup. And he's still scoring tons, to be fair. But Ferguson, I just went with Ferguson. I know he's got 13, so he's technically got less. I know. But that's what I was going with, and I was going to stick with it. Just trying to put out what I think was the best team. And I'm happy with that. I mean, like, there's guys who are pissed, but I don't care. If we look at the appearances, I don't know if you notice stuff like this when I've showed you squads in the past, but you can kind of tell I've reined in a bit of rotating, unless I have to pick a player, if you know what I mean, injury or fitness or whatever. Demar, he gets a big bid in at some point. It's not happening. My keeper keeps getting tons of bids in. He's just became a good player. Like I said in the last one, I thought he was going to be a backup. Thomas Kraus, good player. I mean, when we fit, I think we can beat anybody. Money, of course, is dwindling, but we're not here for that. We're going to jump forward now and get sucked straight into this episode. Now, it's the 1st of April. Yesterday on the 31st, we got the 50 best wonder kids in football list. I've got some lads on there, of course, now, which is great. Now, I've not put any bids in for anyone yet, but there are players out there. Look at this kid. Do you know what I mean? Left winger. Worth quite a bit of money, though, to be fair. But honestly, you go through it. Who's this kid? Apparently he's good. Only worth 31 million. Christ! Melbourne, is he on loan? On loan from Fulham, so he's going to be worth some money. I mean, I haven't fully gone through it all, but this is all I did last year, and I will do, and just see. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Pick up cheapo somewhere. Look how many Union Berlin players. Look at that now. So did I sign all of them in the summer? Love it. I mean, if more people were watching this, I'd carry this on. But, you know, views dwindle. And maybe we'll start a new series. I might do. Because I reckon I could pick a few up here, you know. And really turn us into a young powerhouse of European football and kick them on. But we'll see. I'll see how the numbers do. But if you've got a good eye, you look to the top of the screen, you'll know we are still top of the league. Top of the league at this point. Game in hand. 4 points clear. Evan Ferguson, top goal scorer, best player in the league. This is our second part, I think, since you've last looked, of the season. Only got beat off Wolfsburg, which is poop. Beat Leipzig, though. That's pretty tasty, innit? Have you seen me running, though? It's Stuttgart, who were decent. Dortmund, Bayern, Derby. Could be tasty, that. And the Pokal, quickly. We're into the semi-final. So we beat Köln with a B team just on penalties, right? Then we played Mainz. B team, pretty much, on penalties. We have scraping our way through this. Can I get back to another final? Well, what about the Champions League? Well, we made the top 8. We beat Lazio, was it 3-1? I think I won my last game 4-0. Let's go on the wins. All right, yeah, 3-0 Lazio, 4-1, sorry. AEK, I knew it was something like that. So yeah, brilliant. We got in there, bypass around, and we drew Barcelona, and then we drew against Barcelona away. Good result to me, to be fair. Brought him back to our place. Reece Nelson, game of his life, turning it on against Barcelona, and then look who have drawn in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals again. So I'll just remind you, last year we got knocked out in the quarterfinals by FC Bayern. The year before we got knocked out the quarterfinals by Chelsea, and the year before that we got knocked out the quarterfinals by City. Can I finally get past the quarterfinals? But to do so, I've got to beat the team I love more than any other team ever in the world, the mighty Manchester United. Only quickly looking at this, I've arranged it by goals. Evans just turning it on. Can he keep that going? We're going to need him to. I need Damar back. We've got a big push now to the end. So let's get there. It was a semis. I bottled it. I went for it. And we just about did it. So we're in the Pokal final, which is lovely. Against Schalke again. Back-to-back Pokals against Schalke. Over to the dreaded quarterfinals of the Champions League. I don't know if I'm ever going to get past it. And you're not going to, are you? When you lose your first game 2-1 at Old Trafford. But could we turn it on and perform back in Berlin? No. We're out. Again. In the quarters. Again. Bruno Bloody Fernandes. Kicking off their 3-goal victory. Quarterfinals, man. What is it with this? Bonkers, isn't it? But what about the Bundesliga? Well, we're still top, right? But it's not over, and this is my last save point because I'm going to jump in for some games and share it together. Do you remember earlier in the episode when I mentioned that running? Well, it's a biggie. Now, this would make a great live comment, no, but a Pokal final. It's a Pokal final, isn't it? It's a trophy. That's going to be my actual game. But we're going to jump in for the end of the Bayern game, which we've still got a game in hand on them, by the way. If we win, I mean, good things could happen. But then, you know, we've got Dortmund, who I know this has been one of the craziest parts of this entire series. Why Dortmund, with their money, always predicted to be in the top 4, are always turd. Don't understand why. It's so weird. I find it strange. I don't know why. This game can be funny sometimes, but it's still a tough game. And then obviously a derby. Beat them a couple of times this year. Not so much the cup, beat them earlier in the season, but it's still a derby. We could bottle job this, but we could also do really well, pick up the league title, and pick up a Pokal, and we could have a ton of glory. So let's just get finding out what's going to happen. Well, it was always going to be a tough ask away. Still felt like we could have done something a bit better than this. When you're going for that title, I feel a little bit deflated. 3-0. Bayern are not going out without a fight, are they? They're going to push us, but we've just got to try and get through them next 2 games, and we should be okay, shouldn't we? Shouldn't we? We've got a game in hand, haven't we? I'm never the best with the maths. Most of you all know that. Probably could have won the league if it had beat them, couldn't I think. I don't know. Anyway, right. So they've only got 1 game left to play, so they can get 74 maximum points. If I draw my next 2 games, we'll have 74 points, but they'll win the league, won't they, on goal difference? I've just got to win one. I've just got to win one of them. Anna, please don't bottle it. Imagine I lose the next 2. I'm kind of shitting it now. The nerves, man. I swear to God, because this is quite exciting. I'm pretty nervous. So let's get to the end. The Dortmund game. Going into the end of the game, we've not bottled it. We are winning 3-0. It's been a cracking game. We've been great. Dortmund have been bang average, in my opinion. They went down to 10 men. We scored an early goal, which was fantastic. And the boys of the start were at home in front of our own fans. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're going to win the Bundesliga. And hey, oh my God, Reece Nelson, man. You even got to see a goal. How good's that? I'm just proper proud. We've got closer and closer and closer, and you can do that. I've done it before. But we got closer, and we were on top of them really early doors. And we've kind of stayed there. We had a few little hiccups. Obviously, Bayern have beat me. You've seen that. But I think this is a brilliant thing. To topple Bayern is always tough. But to do with a team like Union Berlin, the way we've done it, and I was really proud. Part of me maybe was worried at the start of the season, brought in a lot of young players, got rid of a few others that were good players, but they've just come together. The guys are solid, and we are champions of Germany, and we're going into a Pokal final as Bundesliga champions with a chance of doing a double. Man, this is brilliant. I love this game. So we're 4 points clear, which is great. Now, we're going into the last game. It's a derby at home, but it does give me now the opportunity to give a lot of guys a game that have not been getting one on a regular basis. Win or lose, derby, I don't care. I'm the fucking champion of Germany. So quickly, before we go for that cheeky little double, this was the last game. Give everyone a game. Most of them who hadn't been playing. Quite close, to be fair, stat-wise, but not on the score sheet. No, we beat them 3-0. Bayern got beat off Dortmund. 3-0. We actually won the title with 7 points clear. Wow. How good's that? I'm so proud of it. Look at Dortmund though. 11th, man. Wow. Wayne Rooney just about kept Hertha in the league. Ferguson, top goal scorer, best player. Can he turn it on for me again against Schalke, who finished 7th in the Pokal final? Shall we find out? Welcome back to Berlin, and welcome back to the Olympia Stadion, our third time here in 4 seasons. Can we pick up our third Pokal? I'm very excited. I feel confident-ish. Well, you never know though. So here we go. Now I've done some testing. I've updated my graphics card. It needed an update, I didn't notice. And it didn't jitter. But I've got a feeling it might, because it's a bloody live com. So we'll see. I don't know why. I've done I ran a test on an earlier game this season and it was fine. So this is the big moment for me, in a way, because it's been fine for me personally with OBS, which I used to record everything running. But I still feel like it's got a jitter on it. So it is annoying, but it is what it is. So anyway, I might have mentioned, and I can't remember what series it was, but a friend of mine got sacked recently for kicking a guy off a bus. He's appealed it and got his job back because the guy he kicked off the bus never actually complained. He only got caught because he tried to get his £1,000 compensation for being assaulted, and then watched CCTV and seen that he'd broke the rules and sacked him. He appealed it. He said, look, I'm very sorry. And they said, well, no one's actually complained against you. We're pretty desperate to keep drivers, so you can have your job back. So he's under a bit of a caution, but he got his job back. On the same day though, another friend of mine, old man Arthur, love Arthur, he's been with the company 40 years. He came second last year. He's in his 60s. We have a tournament every year, national, never entered it, can't be asked. Bus driver of the year. He came second in bus driver of the year, right? He's got gold badges all down his tie for every 10 years of service. Legend of our place. Likes a beer though, right? And the other day, on his day off, he decided to go out on an all-day with his mates. And he was in and around Stockport, jumping on different people's buses, talking to inspectors. Everyone knew he was pissed. He was the talk of the depot. Bloody hell, have you seen Arthur out? He's on the slosh. He was in the next day though. He's phoned up that night and said, pissed, can I have the day off? And they've said, no Arthur, it's too late, you're not. Right? Now what he should have done, he's done a sickie. He'd have got a slap on the wrist because it was obvious. He might have got a little bit of a warning, verbal, and that'd be it. Arthur, in his wise old man wisdom, decided to rock up at work. They were waiting at the door for him with a breathalyzer. Breathed into it, twice over the limit, sacked. 40 years of service. Gone down the shitter. Second in bus driver of the year. All for a day out on the piss. I mean, you can't drive a bus piss, driving kids or whatever. But still, it's like, Arthur, man, what are you doing? And what are we doing? Because it's half time, it's 0-0. Last 2 finals have been pretty awesome, haven't they? Lots of goals. This one, though, not so good. So anyway, I've completed that other season on another save, and I am going to turn it into a little series. Definitely going to try the first one, Van Heck. I'm hoping that'll be our weekend, and we'll see how that goes, see if you like it. Can't believe it. It's a penalty. Fuck. Is this going to be, right? We'll dominate that pokal when we get to a final. 2 of them we've done. The year we finally win the league, are we going to fluff it in the pokal? Right, we switched to attacking. I've given the lads a kick up the arse. We need a quick turnaround here. I don't need Schalke coming at us. Right, this is it. Woo, I like the fast. I like the speed. Getting it to Evan. Oh, referee. Have they got sent off? Down to 10 men. Right, now, come on. Down to 10 men. We have a goal down. Let's start showing our Berlin style. Come on, Union. Come on. Why did you have a wet fart shot like that? Like, cut that across, man. Right, come on, it's all us now, innit? Dahmer gets it in the box. Van Heck. Oh, he hits the bar. Nearly made up for it. He's offside. Come on, lads. We've got a goal in us. Surely we can pull this back. Surely. The sooner the better. Here he is, Big Evan. Finds Mansverk. Finds Brandon Williams. Brandon feds it through. Oh, my. It's offside anyway, but Jesus. Oh, come on. We can't be applying all this pressure and get no end result out of it. Right, here's Kraus on the corner of the box. Gets inside. Gets central. Shoots it. Oh, 20 minutes to go. I've freshened it up. We've got 3 new players on. We have Lorenzo Luca up front. Joaquin Diaz on the right wing. And Andre has come on in the middle. I'm not doing that one. I'm ignoring you on that. Shit. Are we not going to do it? We're not. We're going to pound them. 10 men and we're not going to do this, are we? Right. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at it. It's going to be sod's law, isn't it? It's going to be one of them, isn't it? He can have the title, but we're taking away that pokal. We should have done this, and I can't believe we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We might do it. We might do it. Last chance here. What the hell? What? Are we offside again? Right, we've got 45 seconds. And he's just wasting it. Look at him. Dude, kick the fucking ball. Come on, ref. He's wasting time. I hate this. I absolutely hate this with a passion. Cheeky bastards. It's funny though. It's kind of funny to finally beat Bayern, topple and become champions and then get to a cup final. And we should have won it. Can't score. They've got 10 men for most of the game. We've hit the crossbar, the post. We've been offside about 15 billion freaking times. And there you go. Football. I said it, it's a funny old game. It's a cup final. Anything can happen. I can't believe I've lost it. We don't need to see them lift the trophy, do we? Schalke. Honest, it's funny. It's actually laughable. Well, fair play to Schalke. Can piss off. We're still league champions. It's still been a great season. And we've got some money to spend. About 24 million. Now, I'm just going to go off, because views have dropped. I'll go off how you guys react, maybe in the comments, how many people watch it. See if I'll play the next season, see if I want to bring it to YouTube or not. I mean, it'd be a good way to end, wouldn't it, as champions, but I still feel there's something left in this team, some good young players I could get, and maybe we could repeat it and try and break that quarterfinal hoodoo. So there we go, that is the end of Season 5, Episode 5, and potentially the end of the series. So I just want to thank anyone sat right here now listening to me who's watched every single one. I just want to thank you. I really do appreciate it. Been a joy to play, and I would like to carry it on, but like I said, we'll see how it goes, see how I feel. But thank you as always for your view. Thank you for any comments, thumbs up, anyone who's subscribed because of this series. Your support is massive, and that will always be appreciated, especially my patrons. You guys keep the channel going. Without you, I'd be retiring, I swear to God. So thank you for you guys that give me that little extra support. If you want to be a patron, you'll find a link to that down below in the description. Little as £1 a month. It is massively appreciated. But anyway, you stay happy, you stay safe, and keep your eyes out, because I think this new little series could be a good one. I think it could be brilliant. It's a challenge. I basically got no money, and I do love that. Anyway, stay happy, stay safe, and food. Bye-bye.